Hello everybody, Jer here with another Wild Woman Wisdom. It is Tuesday and I wanted to come on today to talk to you guys a little bit about something that I titled this video as, which is feeling sorry for yourself. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jer. I am an author, speaker, coach, and so I do a plethora of things, but the thing that I'm best at, I guess, is pulling people out of their storms and really helping women to strategize their lives and helping them to achieve the life of their dreams. So my topic today is all about feeling sorry for yourself. Now, I'm literally going through this right now myself, which is why it's a hot topic for me. And this is something that I go through from time to time. So, I mean, you guys have been seeing all of my great lives, all of the incredible things that I've been doing, but I too go through these emotions. Now, because I'm such a high energy person, I put a lot of energy and effort into the things that I do. After I do those things, I actually was teaching a class yesterday at the college here, and one of the guys says, "You have so much energy." And I said, "Yeah, this is my job. This is what I do." And so the funny thing is that when I come home, I don't have any energy at all. I don't have nothing to give anymore because I've put so much into that performance, if you will, that showing of myself and being that performer, doing that job, right? So, hey Leela, how are ya? And so I wanted to come on today and talk about when you're feeling sorry for yourself, right? Because I mean, yes, we're doing these incredible things. We're doing, all of these incredible things in the world. And sometimes you can get stuck, right? So when you come home, you take off all your makeup, you take off all that stuff that you've been doing during the day, and you just sit there with yourself, right? Right now, it's really cold here, and it can be hard, especially for somebody like me, when it's not sunny and it's not great and the weather is not warm, right? So when you are feeling sorry for yourself, again, I was saying that because I had such a high impactful amazing things that I did in the last 3 weeks, I can go through, that real high spike of happiness and just excitedness and being out there and just really putting myself into these things that I'm doing. But I know that when I come home, it's gonna take me a few days to have and get into that mode of, okay, what do I need here? What do I need to kind of get me out of this, right? And if you don't do, if you don't have a system to deal with those feelings, those emotions, those really stagnant feelings where you have to be by yourself, you can get stuck. You can start feeling sorry for yourself. Nobody loves me. I do all these things for everybody and nobody does anything for me. Nobody's here to help me get through this storm, right? And literally, those are the things that I have been saying in the last couple days. And that's because, we put so much into what it is that we're doing that sometimes we can neglect and really lose focus on, what it is that we're doing and why we're doing it that way, right? So how to get unstuck, okay? So a lot of people say to me, you seem like you have it all together. You're always doing these things, and you always say that you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, and it's true, I do. But the thing is, people don't see the time when I shut this camera off. People don't see, when I'm by myself and I'm really needing those things to kind of get me through, to rev myself up to be that excited, incredible person again, right? So it's really low energy. It's sustaining yourself. It's almost like an engine, right? An engine, it's idling, and then when it's time to kind of go, the motor goes, right? So again, if you don't have the things to set yourself up to be able to overcome and build up that power to build your engine and to go through those things, you can get stuck, okay? So what are my tips? And I want you guys to put your comments in here. Hey John, hey Carmen, how you guys doing? What are your guys' tips? How do you get unstuck when you're feeling sorry for yourself and you're like, oh, this, that, blah, 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 right? So my first tip is to be still with yourself. Now, if you guys pray, if you guys do different things, just to kind of remind yourself Why is it that I do this thing? What is my purpose? What is the objective of why I do all of these things? For me, I just know that, you know, I have this higher calling, and my thing is to reach people who have ever felt the way that I felt, which was, I when I was growing up, I felt really misunderstood. I felt like I was an outcast. Nobody understood me. Nobody was there for me. And so my purpose is to help people who also feel that way, and they feel like nobody out there gets them. I'm your person, right? So that's what I want my life purpose to be, is for you guys to know me as somebody who is going to fight through the trenches to reach that one little girl in the back of the room that has that feeling like nobody's out there for her, right? So that's my purpose. So the first step is to know your purpose. Why do you get up every single day? Why do you do that job? Why do you, go on that stage and sing those songs? Why do you speak on those stages? Whatever it is, know your purpose. That's the first step. And pray and just have so much faith in that, right? So that's the first step. The second step is just to get moving. So even when I'm really crummy, I'm not in a mood, I don't want to be around anybody, I do things to get my body moving. Now, whether it's just stretching, if it's just, touching yourself and just being like, oh, I love you, Jer, or it's going down to the gym. I have a gym in my building, and that's a great opportunity for me, but it's going for a walk, moving your body around, even if it's just dancing or singing, find those things that really help you to get the energy flowing again and give you that burst of energy and those endorphins that, those feel good feelings inside of your body, right? So whether it's go for a walk, it's hanging out with people, going, laughs, watching memes, watching crazy funny videos, and just getting your mind off of that, like, I suck, my life is awful, right? Laughing is a good one. That's really good for me, because when I get to be my most goofy self, that's when I'm my most happy self, because I have to be professional and I have to be this person and I got to do all these things, right? And so when I get off of this, I get to be myself, which is really silly and funny, and I get to dance around and be this big dork, right? So that's the second tip. Do something that makes you feel good, gets your body moving, gets you out of that stuck place of feeling like nothing's working for me today, right? So what was my third thing? I had it and I can't remember what it is right now. So one thing that I definitely would say is stay away from things like TV, watching movies, things that help you to kind of not feel the feelings. Maybe that's my third thing, is feeling the darn feelings, right? So this one that I've been going through right now, this spell, I'm going to call it, I like to call them storms, because they're like little storms. Everybody has their seasons, everybody has their weather. And so women especially, we go through the 4 seasons. Well, everybody does, but women especially, right? So it's understanding that there's going to be times when you're real bright and shiny and happy and all of these beautiful things. Other times you're going to be like the fall, right? You're kind of like, oh, I want to be, cover up and be in sweaters and all these different things. And then you're going to be in the winter, which is the time right now, which is like, it's miserable, it's freezing, I don't want to do anything, I don't want to be around anybody. And then that the spring is coming, right? So that, yes, you're going through this thing right now, but you're going to come to the other side. So feeling it, that's the last thing, right? Because that saying that they say, if you don't go through it, and it's going to keep coming and it's going to keep coming, right? So yes, you want to be sweet and soft with yourself, but you also want to go through those feelings so you don't have to go through them anymore. One of the things that I've been going through is like my feelings of worthlessness and not feeling enoughness, if that makes sense. I had to face one of those feelings that I've been having of, going back from childhood. I've always kind of had the feeling like, again, it's going back to that nobody understands me, nobody gets me, I'm all by myself, right? And so I had an opportunity to share my feelings with somebody who really triggered that in me and really brought it out, their conversation. And I was just like, this happened and this is what it makes me feel like. And I was able to let that stuff go for once, and I said it in a way that was eloquent, and it really helped that person to understand what it is that I was feeling. And I didn't even realize that I felt that way until I went through it. So that, again, it's feeling it, but also honoring that feeling and those emotions, all of the things that are stirring up inside of you, and honoring that and being like, it's okay to say those things, you know? Yeah. It kind of sucks, and it feels uncomfortable, and you're kind of like, oh my God, they're not going to like me anymore. Oh my God, they're not going to want to talk to me. And even yourself, you're like, ugh, ugh, you know, but knowing that, especially when you have somebody in your life where you're able to say those things to, and there's that camaraderie that, you know, that person will understand. I was able to go to that person afterwards, after I kind of freaked out and said all the things that I needed to, and it wasn't like crazy, but it can be crazy when we're so used to just being all, you know, Jera's a nice girl. Jera's always doing everything nice and doing everything great and all of those things, right? So when I have an opportunity to kind of say the things that I'm actually feeling, it can seem kind of scary and kind of like odd and like, is Jera okay, right? So it's knowing that while you're going through those things and you're honoring and you're being still, you're voicing those things, you also have to be and do those things to release them and to let them go, right? That way it doesn't keep happening to you. It doesn't keep spiraling and being inside of you. So again, that's my third tip. So first tip was being still with yourself, you know, doing things that just understanding and being there for you and knowing that you need that space. Second thing is to get moving, do things that, you know, get you out of that energy, that make you feel things again. And then the last thing is also understanding and vocalizing those things that you are feeling. You know, it's, yes, you want to be sweet and tender to yourself, but you also want, if you can and you feel safe to, releasing those things, right? So there can be a multitude of ways to do that. So again, if you guys don't have that space to be able to share those things with the people that you need to share them with, write it down in a journal, you know, write it on a piece of paper, burn that piece of paper outside, get rid of it. It was just the full moon the other night. I'm a big person on letting things go on full moons. That's just one of the ways that I do. So I had like a self-love bath last night, right? So it was, you know, doing special things with rose quartz and, you know, having flowers and candles and bubble bath and all that fun stuff to just show myself that I appreciate and love myself and take that time for me, right? So those are 3 tips, tricks of how I get unstuck when I'm feeling sorry for myself, because even I go through those things, guys. But let me know what you guys do in the comments. Let me know if you guys need help or other ideas with this stuff. You know, it's a true thing, you know, the seasons of our emotions and the things that we're going through to become these people, it can be hard sometimes. And when you feel like nobody understands you, I especially know what that feels like, right? I'm a Sagittarius, so I tend to be very like aloof and in the stars, and I'm a visionary, so I'm always like go, 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 crazy, crazy, crazy. And when I don't stop and just be with myself and just be like, how are you doing, Jer? You know, you can go and you can get stuck really easily and be like, nobody loves me, nobody even appreciates me, nobody even sees all the good things that I do, and that, you know, all of that stuff that can happen to a lot of us, and especially me. Like, I come off as being really tough and go lucky and like, oh, I got it. A girlfriend of mine said to me the other day that, Jer, you are such a warrior. You just pretend like you're so tough all the time, but you just have this huge heart, and you should show more of that. And when she said that to me, I'm like, yeah, I like that, right? So it's knowing that, you know, we in the world, in our jobs, and all of the things that we do every single day, we are, you know, we're tough in it, we're surviving, we're, you know, we're pushing the wheel, we're doing things, but it's also just being sweet. And when you are in that space of like, everybody hates me, nobody even cares about what I do, it's like, okay, that's okay. but honor those feelings. Do something about those things. Don't get stuck, you know? And if you need help, reach out to people, ask for help. And that was one of the things that I had to learn this year too, was being like, stop being a baby and ask for help, right? So that's something that I've been going through. Let me know if you guys are going through the same thing. And if you guys have any tips or tricks for me, if you guys need help, ideas, you want to chat with me, I would love an opportunity to do that with you guys. Thank you so much for popping in on my video. Lots of love, and let's get unstuck. Love you guys. See you. Bye.